Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Jen Johnson from the IVAPM, and we're coming up to the top of the hour, and I'm excited this month to be presenting. Well, I'm not presenting, but to be offering this IVAPM-Live with Dr. John Waterhouse, and we're so excited to have John here with us. I'm going to let him introduce himself to you, but he's the founder of Canine Rehabilitation Teaching Academy, and he is going to explore how adding rehabilitation services to your clinic can help improve your bottom line and improve your patient care, obviously, as well. So thank you for joining us, and we'll have time for questions in the end, or to email info@ivapm.org. And we will get your questions answered with John if you are watching this recorded. So thanks. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Waterhouse. Thanks.
Thanks, Jen. And thank you, everybody, for being here, because this is a topic that a lot of people ask. And actually, it's a topic that's changing in the law and what we can do and talk about as well. And we'll touch on that a little bit in the next few slides. But also, I want to say thank you to IVAPM for bringing me on to talk about this, because this is something that is pretty much new to really the veterinary industry, is talking about rehabilitation and bringing services or modalities into the clinic so we can change and we can create a better environment for our staff, a better environment for our clients, but also affect the bottom line of the practice. So before we go any further, let's see if we can make this work. Here we go. A little bit about myself. So I'm a licensed Australian veterinarian. I came out to the United States back in 2011 to undertake a pain management fellowship under the tutelage of Dr. Jamie Gaynor. After finishing up with Dr. Gaynor, I went to the University of Tennessee and undertook my CCRP training and came back to Colorado Springs and actually helped build a bricks and mortar rehab facility for 6 orthopedic surgeons. Back in 2016, once that was all done, my wife, Dr. Celia Waterhouse, and I launched the Veterinary Teaching Academy, and every month we do a continual education webinar through the Canine Rehab Teaching Academy for our vet students around the world. I speak, I'm an author, I talk on different topics of canine rehabilitation, sports medicine, laser therapy, etc., all around the world. So that's a little bit about my background. Now, to be full disclosure for this presentation. In this presentation, we talk about laser, and I've just joined the advisory board for companion laser. So we talk about, actually, here's the companion laser just here. We talk about companion laser, but in the class of lasers, but we'll talk about other lasers as well. And also we'll be talking about canine rehab on demand. And that's actually a program that we've built that's a ready to go rehab facility for you to be able to give to or sell to your clients so they can do rehabilitation at home. But I just want to get that out of the way before we dive into this presentation. Also, big disclaimer in this presentation, rules in the United States and Europe have changed about being able to use examples of income earned or strategies. So this presentation is for educational purposes only and does not replace independent professional judgment. As with any business, your results may vary and will be based on your individual capacity, business experience, expertise, and factors that can be beyond your control. There are no guarantees concerning the level of success you may experience, and we make no representations or warranties regarding your level of success. The examples used are exceptional results, which do not apply to the average customer and are not intended to represent or guarantee that anyone will achieve the same or similar results. Each individual success depends on his or her background, dedication, capacity, and factors beyond his or her control. Whew, that's a mouthload, but really, we have a program called Canine Rehab Business in a Box that we launched about 6 years ago with Dr. Deb Gross, Dr. Deb Chiraka. And so I'm using a lot of the case studies from there. We've got 8, if I can do 8, different modalities that we're going to be talking about, but I've had to pull out all, if you saw this number of clients at this price, you would generate this per month, that per year. We're going to be talking about how much the potential equipment costs, what you can charge for a treatment, and then you on a piece can independently work out how many clients you potentially think you'll be able to see to get an idea if that modality is something you want to pursue or not. The FDA has really clamped down in the last few months on people promising and not being able to deliver. And so this presentation's been changed to be of a legal nature. Okay, that out of the way, let's get into it. So what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about what are the benefits of adding rehabilitation services to your clinic. And this is now in a post-COVID-19 world. And we'll talk about why that affected actually all these programs are because of COVID, and we'll talk more about that during the slides. We're going to talk about how do you increase your bottom line by offering out-of-clinic services to your clients, canine rehab on demand, or increase your bottom line by including in-clinic rehab services. And we're going to talk about, as I said, 8, if I can do 8, different ways you can bring rehab modalities into your clinic. So why should you be offering rehabilitation services in your clinic? So, oops, we've gone backwards. There we go. So as veterinarians, we're always seeking ways to provide more options for our clients and really for our patients. We're seeking new clients, or we're trying to work out how to better hold and service our existing clients. And also we want to keep our clients inside our doors or under our umbrellas. We really don't want them being referred out for different services that we potentially could be doing in-house. We're always looking for ways to add new revenue or new modalities or services to our practice. And we have the most important thing, little time to learn these new modalities. And that's probably one of the biggest frustrations of the industry is, I know that personally, is the lack of time to look into new modalities or areas of research. So our clients are seeking the opposite. Our clients are seeking options for their pets and want to know what else is out there. They always want to know what that new shiny thing is. They want to know the questions to ask to be able to properly communicate with their veterinarian or rehab professional. They want to know how to do more for their aging pet. And we'll talk about why aging pets are a really important sector of our patients to give them the best life possible for the longest time to be with their owners. So the reasons you should be offering rehabilitation services. I know I'm going fast because we've got a lot to get through in this short amount of time. So the reasons are, it's got proven benefits for your patients. It builds loyalty and satisfied clients. It is an adjunctive or supportive care, or it is an alternative if a patient is a good surgical candidate. It offers alternatives to surgery. So think of cranial cruciate ligament. If they can't have surgery, what do? Well, we have a conservative medical management system that can go hand in hand with surgery. And it actually raises up your standard of care. Also, very important, staff professional growth. We know that it's really hard to hold and maintain good staff, and by incorporating new modalities, new practices into your practice, you keep your staff educated, alive, wanting to learn more. Also, it adds, as I said, another stream of revenue to your practice. And now it's also being expected from our clients. So we know that we've all heard Dr. Google. We know our clients are going out there. They're becoming more educated. Actually, when they're turning to social media, they're getting bad education or wrong education. So it's up to us. And there was a report saying that I think it was 63% of people still go to their veterinarian to get the information and answers to ask questions. So we still are the primary source of information, but a lot of people are now going out to Dr. Google and finding information out there, educating them. So we need to be ahead of the ball or ahead of the curve to deal with our clients in regards to education. Changing demographics, there's an increased number of pets. We know with COVID, I think it went up from 24% to 26% of households now in the United States have a pet. We know that geriatrics, dogs aged greater than 8 years of age, has gone from 25.5% to 28% now of the canine population. So we are now getting older and more canines in our treatment pool. And so we now need to be looking at more modalities and programs to deal with our aging client base. And we now have to think about what these services are that we need to help them to, one, help educate the client, two, help with the prolonging the life of the pet, and three, what we can do later on at the end stage of their life to make them more comfortable. So how to explain the benefits of home rehabilitation programs for your clients? So we know rehabilitation helps with pain reduction, improves strength and range of motion in the joints, because motion is lotion. And the more they use the joints, the more they move, the better they feel. Improves functional ability and improves strength and performance, and also conditioning in those active dogs throughout their lives. Helps with injury prevention, helps with the weight loss. And weight loss is probably one of the biggest things that we see, because we know that over 50% of all canines in the United States through a study were morbidly obese. So weight loss is a huge problem. And if we can lose 1 pound of weight off a dog, that equates to an additional 4 pounds of shear force off that joint. So if we think of a 10-pound overweight Labrador Retriever, that equates to 40 pounds of additional shear force through their joint. So just by getting weight off them, we can actually get them off non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, other pharmaceuticals or nutraceuticals, just by getting weight off. So weight's the number one thing that I look at trying to get off before I put them on a pharmaceutical regime in the short term to help get over that allodynia or pain reflex. And then we're losing weight, we're able to get them more manageable, and also improves the quality of life for our older patients. Going on here. Okay, we also know that rehabilitation is the gold standard out there in humans. You have any type of surgery, you go straight to rehabilitation. It should be the same for a canine and feline patient. It is a proven physiological and has psychological benefits, both for the patient, but also for your client. I get all the time clients running through our program saying, wow, the biggest negative feedback is, gee, Doc, I wish I knew about this sooner. The bond that I and my pet have now is so much greater than I could ever believe. And that is the biggest negative I hear, is they wish they had started a program like this earlier, because now doing things every day with their pet, that pet-human interaction bond gets better. And also it accelerates the recovery and healing times from injuries. It allows for alternatives for those patients, as I said before, that aren't good surgical candidates. Think of your intervertebral disc disease, your cranial cruciate ligaments. Those patients, some are morbidly obese, or they have other underlying medical conditions because they're old age diseases. And so we need to have options to deal with those cases that medically aren't suitable for surgery. So also other benefits, owners want to do everything they can for their pets. They're invested. And if you get in the bed with them, not literally, but we become team dog, and we show that we're invested in them to invested in their pets, you now get this great synergy with your clients, and your clients become loyal, they love you, and your practice morale builds. Rehab services sometimes give other options to traditional procedures. We've talked a little bit about that. And the benefits of rehab have been researched and scientifically proven. And that's why in the human market, your insurance companies pay for rehabilitation because we know how stingy insurance companies are, and they won't pay for anything that doesn't work. And so that is why it's the gold standard in humans, and it should be for us. At-home rehabilitation programs not only benefit the patient, but as I said, also benefit the client and builds the stronger pet bond. So adding rehab services to your practice, what does that entail? So in most states in the United States now, you have to write a prescription so your clients can go up and fill their pharmaceutical orders anywhere. We've lost that front of service or front of house sales. We've lost the food, the leashes, all of that traditionally was at the front of house, all that revenue stream's gone. So by incorporating rehabilitation modality and strategies back into your practice, that helps claw back some of that revenue, get your clients coming back to you. Our whole goal of our programs are to make you, the veterinarian, the hero of the story and keep the clients coming back to you. But as we're losing front of house, I call this as back of house programs that now can produce additional revenue streams. And so this is the beauty of offering rehabilitation services. Your patients end up with a better patient outcome. And that's what it's all about. We're here because we love animals. We want our patients to succeed. And they have better outcomes if they do rehabilitation. Your staff are happy. You have ecstatic, loyal clients. And also, as I said, you improve your practice bottom line. So by offering rehab services, you have the opportunity to enhance your staff's education and job satisfaction. We know that job satisfaction is an all-time low at the moment. COVID has been really hard on our staff, hard on us as vets, hard on the whole profession. And so this gives a new modality, a new shiny toy, let's call it, because we all love the shiny toys, that your staff can get behind, get trained on, and invest their time and effort into, and renew that sense of purpose in their careers. Because retaining staff is the #1 problem that we see in the profession. And if we can keep our staff longer, that's better for the practice because you're not training again. And every time you train costs money. It also expands the offices or the services that you offer. And you also can introduce staff incentive programs and build excitement. Your receptionists are the point of service for your clinic. They're really your gatekeepers. Sorry. And having your receptionist enthused, as Mrs. Smith is sitting in the consultation room waiting to go in, and they're always talking to the receptionist. The receptionist can be asking leading questions, can be giving advice, or, oh, Mrs. Smith, wow, Scruffy's looking great after this or that. Sorry about that, hair in the throat. Have you thought about this? We have this coupon going on, this promotion or this activity. And so this is where your whole practice can get behind rehabilitation. And we also know the biggest problem we face is time, and time to learn, time to introduce, time to bring all modalities. We're all burnt out. We're all fighting for every second of the day. So if we can bring things already packaged up for you to do, and you don't have to lift a finger, it's just there ready to go. This is what we want to do, and incorporate those types of things into your facility services. And also, we never want to be the last to know about something. We don't want our clients. I remember in consultation rooms, the clients come in and ask these questions. You know about this drug, this service, this technique. And if you say, no, I've never heard of it, you feel like a fool. Your clients go, well, how do you not know about it? But also they're constantly now on Dr. Google researching everything to do with that disease, that diagnosis, or that assumed diagnosis before they come to see you. And so really we're now fighting an information war, that our clients are coming in with reams of paper. Oh, I've got this study, that study. And so we need to be on top of that. And it can be very hard, because we want to have the information of the new treatment options. We want to be telling our clients, you know about this new treatment, this drug, this service. We want to be impressing them with our level of knowledge. And that can be hard because we don't have the time to do it properly. And this is how we keep our clients happy, our staff happy. And in the end, the treatment options that you're giving your patients work. Your patients are doing better. They're getting better levels of service. And at the end of the day, a better outcome. So why is rehab so important in your business growth? Canine rehab is becoming the norm, like in the human world, now in the canine world, it's the norm. And as with this in the human world, both our clients are demanding and also other veterinary services are demanding this as well. So most of our clients hear about the benefits through social media, internet, word of mouth, social media, or they've experienced through a vet hospital that offered the services or didn't offer the services and they went to a hospital that did. And so it's all about retention. It's all about training your staff, but also having the information to give to your clients so they feel serviced, they feel wanted, and also you're invested in them. And hopefully I've given you enough reasons to start having your ears pick up saying, wow, okay, what's he now going to talk about in these strategies to bring different modalities into your clinic? So what modalities should we be thinking about? And so these are the rehab modalities that most rehab facilities have: laser, therapeutic ultrasound, MNES, TENS units, hydrotherapy, underwater treadmill. Swimming's there because this is something that takes a lot of building in. I want to tell you things that you can get tomorrow, next week, into your clinic and start generating income, but also servicing your clients. Pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, corporal shockwave therapy, cryotherapy, that's either hot or cold, sorry, I could call it thermotherapy, and then other professionals coming in. Other things, we're not going to talk today about regenerative medicine, bracing and cart fitting. That's whole different webinars on that, and nutritional advice, but there are other areas that you could be doing. So which rehab modalities should you be offering? And so my number one pick is in-clinic laser therapy. If I was starting a bricks and mortar vet clinic today, the number one piece of equipment I would buy would be a laser. Actually, I'd buy 2 lasers, and we'll talk about that. So laser therapy uses a wavelength of light to deliver a photon of energy at a specific target point. And so the wavelength, the shorter the wavelength, the more superficial, the longer the wavelength, the deeper it penetrates. And then the power of the unit dictates how long it takes to deliver that amount of treatment light to that depth of tissue. And that's how laser therapy works. It's all about photobiomodulation. So we know that photonic energy stimulates photoreceptors on all your cells, and that goes into the mitochondria. And the mitochondria brings in glucose and oxygen to form ATP. And actually it turns cytochrome C to become cytochrome C oxidase. And this is the whole process in the mitochondria. Benefits of laser therapy, and I have a whole webinars, like 5 webinars just on laser therapy, so I'm going very quickly through this. Increases blood flow, accelerates tissue repair and growth, faster wound healing times by about 30%, helps with analgesia, decreases inflammation, angiogenesis, vasodilation, and improves lymphatic draining, so getting rid of edema through the lymph, helps uptake of glucose and oxygen to form more ATP, increases nitric oxide synthesis and release, stimulates more singlet oxygen release, and blocks and interferes with the modulation of cell signaling, moving pain, so the P pathways. Increases synthesis of RNA and DNA, promotes synthesis of cytokines, growth factors, enzymes, and proteins. So this is the whole stimulation of the inflammatory process, and increases cell proliferation and migration. And here's a quick slide showing all the different ways you can use laser therapy in your clinic. So there are 2 classes of laser. Well, actually, there's 4 classes of laser, but we're just going to talk about actually 3 of them now. So class 4 laser, and this is a companion laser. And this is a laser that's more than 500 milliwatts of power. That means it delivers more energy, so it's faster in delivery and faster treatment time. The class 4 laser has detachable heads and actually can penetrate deeper into soft tissue. The heads allow you to use collimated or coherent or non-coherent. So on lower powers, you can get a really pencil beam that goes deep. But if you're doing superficial skin, you want to have that light spread over so it doesn't heat. Because a class 4 laser heats up, so you have to keep that probe. So this probe, here's the probe I can show you. I don't know if you can see that. You've got to keep that going all the time. Here's a photo just showing the difference between a collimated and the divergent beam. The collimated's on the left, and then you can see the divergence on the right. Class 3 lasers actually work in a different light reference. They're less than 500 milliwatts of power, and they're a light probe or light pad that you leave in place. It's LED-based technology, so it comes in 3 light spectrums: infrared, red, and blue. Class 4 lasers are infrared only. And so you can actually use all those different light spectrums in one treatment. Blue light, so what you use, blue light's great. It's a very short wavelength, so it's superficial. Sterilization, bacterial infection, fungal infection, we use that from MRSA. Red light goes probably a couple of centimeters deep, and that's resolution of inflammation, edema, pain relief, helps stimulate superficial tissue repair. And then infrared light is deep, and that gets down to your joints, helps with pain relief, resolution of inflammation, reduction of edema, and penetrates into the deeper layers of soft tissue. Other things that class 3 do instead of class 4 is it can be left there in place. So it's really good for burns. This is a little guy that had 3rd-degree burns. He was intervertebral disc disease, had surgery. He crawled underneath a radio because he couldn't feel it, and he got burned. And so we were using this because you can leave it in place, and also it's safer. You don't need to have protective glass. You should, but it's safer than with a class 4 laser. You need to be wearing protective glasses for yourself, your patient, and your clients at all times. So these are the studies. So I'm showing you the costs. So a class 3B laser costs anywhere between $6,000 and $12,000. Class 4 laser is $12,000 to $30,000. Cost of treatment is dependent on time, usually $25 to $50 per 15-minute treatment cycles. So that's how we cost it in 15-minute treatment cycles of $25. Some people charge $35 every 15 minutes. It depends what area of the country you are or the world. But if I was starting out, I would start out, if you're at all thinking about this, with a class 3B, because it's cheaper to get in, you can do more with it, and then get a class 4 later on, because you can use the class 4 in surgery as well for cauterizing and doing surgical procedures. My number 2 pick, laser rentals. And so this is a class 1 laser, and this works on LED technology as well, but it's safe to the eyes. And the classes of lasers are rated on the damage that it can do to your eyes. So class 1, very little to no damage. Class 4, if you look into the laser light, it'll instantly blind you. So this is a safe technology that you can send home with your clients. So here's an example of one rental unit. The cost of these lasers are about $3,000. And I know of people out there renting them for anywhere from $100 to $400 a week. I know, so think about that, and you can think how many weeks you would have it rented. I know one practice that has 35 units out there being rented. So I won't do the math, but at $400 a week, they have 35 rental units. So that gives you an idea of the power of this rental to be able to rent it. You don't have to think about it. You just rent it out on a week. They leave their credit card as security. They break it, they own it, and then you rent it out at $400 a week. $100 if you're out in the bush, but in the big cities where people are used to paying, then I know multiple clinics that are charging $400 a week for the renting of these class 1 lasers. Number 3, ultrasound therapy. So ultrasound therapy accelerates wound healing, decreases pain and muscle spasms via muscle relaxation. It warms up, increases range of motions for the joint, decreases inflammation associated with muscles, sprains and strains, increases blood circulation, increases soft tissue mobility, and accelerates fracture healing. So this is great for non-union fractures, animals that are in splints where you get the contracture, you heat up the soft tissue structure, and then you start to bend it out. And you get about 15 minutes window where it warms up the tissues and you're actually able to stretch out that scar tissue for treatment. Great for bursitis and tendinosis, helps break down tendon calcification, preventing scar tissue formation and preventing soft tissue adhesions. We all know that when you put in plates and that, you get those adhesions. This is a great technology to help with that. Cost of a unit is anywhere between $1,000 to $4,000. And once again, it's a time-based treatment, anywhere from $25 to $50 for a time-based treatment, or where you are and what you can charge for your clients. Number 4, we're getting through them. Electrical stimulation. So this is both your TENS units, and your TENS units are great for joint pain, inflammation, neuropathic pain, and joint effusion. And then your NMES, I always get that, the neuromuscular electrical stimulation, treats and prevents muscle atrophy, assists with strengthening and re-education of individual muscles or muscle groups, accelerates wound healing and reduces muscle spasm. So down on the bottom, there's a neuromuscular electrical stimulation, and actually the TENS units, and it has a neuromuscular, all 3, plus the soft tissue ultrasound built into 1 unit. And so here's a dog that's just had a TPLO surgery, and we're using the TENS unit to help with pain in the stifle joint. And so other things, it relieves pain and edema, maintains, increases range of motion, and improves muscle firing. So for our neurological, our degenerative myopathy, invertebral disc disease, our brachial plexus injuries, NMES is a great technology to help with that, to prevent disuse atrophy or sometimes sarcopenia from happening. So these units are cheap, anywhere from $25 to $50 for the unit, and they're renting on average from $25 to $50 a week. So in 1 week, this unit pays for itself, and I know multiple clinics that have multiples of these that are just going out the door with their post-surgical patients, and they're just charging $25. So in the second week, it's paid for itself the first week, and they go on. The thing you need to change over all the time is the sticky electrode pads. But this is a very cheap way to get some really great technology out the door and start generating an income stream. Number 5, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, or PEMF. And this is new technology that's coming on that is fantastic. So this was developed by NASA to help astronauts in space when they hurt themselves, because we need gravity to heal. And so I actually spoke to the gentleman that developed this for NASA. Actually, he just passed, unfortunately, last year. But the technology that went into this and the thinking was just mind-blowing. So it decreases swelling and inflammation associated with soft tissue trauma and surgical wounds, accelerates bone healing times in relation to bone fractures, relieves pain associated with osteoarthritis, improves recovery times associated with degenerative joint disease, accelerates tendon and ligament damage and healing and recovery times. Great for osteoarthritis. I'm about to release a year study with we'll show you CC loop bed, and they're on my 20-year-old cat and dogs and things like that, as I do product reviews. Incredible for osteoarthritis patients and degenerative joint disease, tendon and ligament damage, soft tissue trauma and wounds, bone union or non-union fractures, great for this, and invertebral disc disease. Enhances the body's natural recovery process, and it corrects cellular dysfunction throughout the body. So it puts out electromagnetic field like a orange, and it stimulates stem cells to come to the sites of inflammation or kickstart the inflammatory process again. And it gives patients more energy naturally, improves athletic performance we've seen in working dogs because it's helping reduce inflammation and pain and actually helps them recover faster after injury or actual activity. There are two companies out there that make a portable device, KV Cura and Assisi Loop. So this is the Assisi Loop. Let me put it up to the camera. This is a loop you can see on the right-hand side. It has 150 treatments in it, and then it's done. You can't replace the batteries. And this is about $300. The KV Cura sticks on, it's like a Frisbee disc, but it can be recharged. So you can put it under beds. Here's a Velcro harness system they have, so it sticks onto the different parts of the body to be able to give targeted PEMF treatment. Assisi also makes the lounge. So here's the small dog lounge. If you can see this, there's a large, the photos of the large dog lounge, and these are really great for rental. So the cost of the loop, if we're looking at the loop, is about $300 and $325 for the KVP Cura, not including the harness system. And Assisi Loop have a harness system for this loop as well. The beds range anywhere from this little bed for small dogs or cats is about $1,500, and the large bed is about $3,000. And I know that beds are going home with post-surgical patients for a week, and they charge anywhere from $300 to $500 a week for that initial 7 days after surgery to help with the recovery times, intervertebral disc, cranial cruciate ligament, all those surgeries, those big ticket item surgeries, they're going home with a rental of a bed because they see the benefits of this type of technology. Number 6, cryotherapy, or really it's temperature therapy. And so cryotherapy increases blood circulation, metabolism in cells to get rid of edema, helps with detoxification, tissue repair and recovery times after sporting activities. So here's a game ready. It's a chilled water compression that pumps around the stifle joint. Helps with healing times, reducing swelling, inflammation associated with pain and soft tissue and orthopedic injuries. Heat therapy is great for circulation, relaxing muscles, helps lubricate that joint, relieving stress and warming up after or before they do certain activities. So really cheap, hot packs and cold packs are $5 to $10 that you can be sending home with clients. Machines like Game Ready, heating baths, anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. And if you're doing in-clinic Game Ready, that's anywhere between $25 to $50 per treatment because at the time, if you're doing multiple joints, it gets more expensive because they're using those 15-minute time blocks up. Number 7, hydrotherapy. I'm putting this in underwater treadmill because there are some clinics out there that have got multiple consultation rooms and you can actually fit an underwater treadmill into a consultation room. This isn't something you can do next week. This is going to be planning and all of that, but this is a great technology because it works multiple muscle groups spontaneously, decreases post-surgery, injury recovery times, and minimizes post-exercise muscle soreness. Provides a full range of motion resistance. So we know 1 minute in an underwater treadmill is equivalent to 4 minutes of walking on land. Provides resistance through range of motion. Permits longer than normal training times because they're supported. The water and the buoyancy helps with gravity. So those animals that are neurologic, old, have some type of load-bearing injury, they're not wanting to place weight yet, putting them in a water environment lifts them up, they actually start moving and reusing those muscles. Warm water assists with pain and reduction. Geriatric patients can actually exercise longer and more efficiently. Decreases the risk of overload. And then the water level can be put up or down depending on the activity or the stamina or where you are on a treatment cycle to give more or less resistance, and great for our neurological patients. So here's a photo of an underwater treadmill, all one unit, the water tanks, the black thing on the left, the treadmill's on the right, and this is in a consultation room. And so this was put into a practice, and they just turned one of their consultation rooms into underwater treadmill. You can see they bring a hose in from outside to fill up the tank, and then they can drain the tank into a drain. Cost of these units, they're not cheap, $35,000 to $50,000, but you can be charging $25 to $50 once again per 15 minutes sessions, and you can be doing every, let's just say, half an hour during a day, and I'll let you work out how many treatments that would be in a day. You can be charging $25 to $50. Number 8, bringing in outside services. This is a great way to add services, have your clients happy, but you're not having to learn these skills, and you just take a percentage of their takings for the day. So I know a lot of acupuncturists, chiropractors, and massagers will work from clinic to clinic on a rotating each day. There's a week they're at a different clinic, and the clinic takes a percentage, and everyone wins. So these are all the different modalities that I would include to be incorporated into clinic, that you don't really need much education up, much startup. You can start with getting income streams and renting out programs. So in the last few minutes, and the last 10 minutes, I want to talk about our program, Canine Rehab on Demand. And this came to because of COVID. And so for the last 7 years at the Canine Rehab Teaching Academy, I do a monthly webinar on rehabilitation and disease for our vets out there to train them about giving them skills and tools and educating them so they can explain to the client in the consultation room better about certain diseases and what options they are. COVID came along in Australia. I know the government came in and took out the respirator machines out of vet hospitals. Sometimes they took their anesthetic machines, and my students said, what can we do? Can we take your education and package that to our clients? And I said, of course. So I packaged it up, and then I went and recorded videos and created a whole syllabus that we're just about to go through and talk about. So programs we now offer, we offer a senior dog program, a hip dysplasia program, intervertebral disc, both surgical and non-surgical program, cranial cruciate ligament, surgical and non-surgical program, femoral head osteotomy, total hip replacement program, amputation program for forelimb and a hind limb program, tendinopathy and ligament injuries to shoulder injury program, luxating patella, meniscal injury, shoulder injury program, elbow dysplasia, and puppy programs to start with. So we have 15 programs that we offer at the moment. So here's an example I want to walk through just of the canine osteoarthritis program. So in that program, they get, as I said, the informational training that I've given to veterinarians for the last 5 years. They get a 12-week rehabilitation home program so clients can do the exercises at home. If you're of my age, you remember the Jane Fonda workout video series. If you're of the young generation, you know the P90X series, that same formula of they work through 5 to 6 exercises every 2 weeks. We give them an exercise program chart, a nutraceutical plan, a treatment modality guide, and an equipment checklist that we're going to work through. So in the 12-week exercise program, we give them access to a comprehensive exercise and information training. So they get it's really 2 separate places, or they get the education that's standalone, webinars, they get MP3, key point summaries of that information webinar, and then they get the 12-week program. They get the rehabilitation program, so easy to follow program that they do at home. It comes with, so every 2 weeks we open, it's time locked. So every 2 weeks it opens the next 2 weeks programs, and those programs build on the programs from the 2-week block beforehand. So we have 12 weeks worth of programs. Here's an example of weeks 1 and 2 of the first page of programs. Usually there's 8 programs in week 1 and 2, and you can see there's a description. And when they click on the program, it opens up, there will be a video. Oh, this looks a little bit funny. It's a little bit distorted, but there's, in most programs, the video that explains it, and then a written description with photos that go through and explain it as well. So the clients have both a video to watch with explanation or a written description with photos. They also get an exercise chart because I know that I like to tick boxes and our clients like to tick boxes. And so this program's been in development now for the last year and a half, and clients keep coming back and saying, oh, we can't track how we're going. We don't know how to then talk to our vet or rehab professional about what we're having problems with. So we created this chart that they can tick off and monitor as they go through. So here's an example of the exercise chart. And there's one chart per week, and it's a PDF download. Nutraceutical plan, we give them a 12-week nutraceutical and pharmaceutical plan specific for that disease, what supplements they should be taking at what time. We give them a rehab modality guide because every disease is different. So I go through and I explain in detail what each rehab modality that I recommend, why it works or why it may not work. So then the clients, and then I give them an example of what exercises that I would take my client through on a 4-week treatment program, so they can come to you or they could go to a rehab professional and they already understand and educate, oh, we're going to do underwater treadmill or disc work or things like that. So I'm all about training the client to come to you to ask for those services and to train you to be able to offer those services to the client, because that's my goal, is to lift up the level of care that we give to our patients. Equipment guide, what pieces of equipment they need for that specific disease to help their client or their patients. If they had degenerative myopathy, slings, carts, booties, mats, bedding, all the different pieces of equipment they need. And that ties in with our store. So we've probably got the best store of anywhere I know on the internet, where I've gone from all the companies that I've used for over a decade now, Help 'em Up Harness, Eddie's Wheels, Dog on Wheels, companies that have been there, have the right attitude, great equipment that I've vetted are in the store. So supporting devices, booties, wraps, protective clothing, so the clients can go there, they click on the button and it takes them straight to the fulfillment store for those manufacturers. So it cuts out the middleman, they go straight to the manufacturer and they're dealing direct with the manufacturer in most cases. Additional information resources, we create blogs, videos, other educational platforms. We're launching standalone websites to make your jobs a lot easier, and they're coming out in the next 6 months. So when you're in consultation, you say, Mr. Smith, go to blah, 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 and they just go look at that website. It has all the information for them. So this is what's included in the programs. So I know I'm running out of time. So testimonials. So this is what people have said as their pets have gone through. Absolutely fantastic. John, you're a master at explaining things, and I was able to identify better what is happening with my dog. Now I can have a much more informed conversation with our vet, pet caregiver. So excited to learn more. This program has changed my pet's life, but also it has changed my life. Thank you, Sam. Wow, that was fantastic. I'm a new tri-cat owner. That's an amputation. And I've just want to thank you all for putting together that webinar, because that's the education portion. I especially appreciate the modalities, the arthritis information, the science, since he is losing muscle mass and starting to get arthritis in his pelvis. I'm so grateful for what I was able to learn. I applied the knowledge in much happier dog. I really love being able to apply what is being taught. And then we took John's or Dr. Waterhouse's advice for our arthritic 11-year-old golden retriever. Today, she walked up the mountain and did a hike that she hadn't done for 6 months. She seems like her old self. She seems much happier. I think she's must be feeling good. Thank you, John. These are the things that your clients will be saying about you because they're doing these programs. So how can this program in the last 5 minutes help your business? So we have 2 options. We've had the affiliate program for last year and a half, and we're now launching the wholesale program. And so in our affiliate program, So in the affiliate program, we pay you a 40% commission back for any program that you send your clients to on our website through the dedicated referral or affiliate link. And you barely have to lift a finger. You just go and you send an email to your client. They click on the email. It takes them to that disease. So if we look, here's the 2 program bundles. The education is $147 to your client to buy, and we bring out now an in-consultation room package of $47 for you. So when you're there in the consultation, you say, Mrs. Smith, for $47, here is the education package, and you buy it here, and this is in the wholesale program, or you can go home and it's going to cost you $147. And then to buy the bundle with the education and the 12-week program is $347. This is what the affiliate dashboard looks like. So when you sign up for affiliate, you see individual links. That is your affiliate code. And then you send an email to your client with that code for that specific disease, or to the general website. And it puts a cookie on their computer for 30 days. So if they buy anything within that 30 days off that computer, then you get credited back that affiliate fee. So how can this platform help your business? Think about what that can do for those clients that come in wanting to learn more, wanting to know cranial cruciate ligament. It's not a life-threatening, partial tear. Mr. Smith, we have a canine rehab on-demand program that'll help educate you about CCL injury, help it slow down in its progression, or if it tears, what to do, works them through surgical, non-surgical options in the education, and then they can buy either the surgical 12-week program through you or the non-surgical program, and you get a 40% affiliate off that sale. Now, this is really exciting because a lot of our clients, or you guys in the referral program, have been asking for being able to break up the bundle and the programs. And so I want you to think about all the surgeries you're doing. We just had one of our next door neighbors, a Bernese Mountain Dog, had a TPLO surgery, and the referring orthopedic surgeon sent it home with cage rest and Rimadyl. And that was it. And I'm like, in this day and age, a referring specialist is still offering that, where we're now going to be breaking this down so you can include this in your surgical costs. So in the wholesale, we'll take the 40% off, or sometimes more. You get to buy this program at wholesale. So if I use the example of one of our testers bought the post-surgical program for $150. They include that in their surgical fees now for TPLO, because they're saying they're paying $3,500. And I'm sending them home with cage rest and Rimadyl now for $150 that I include in the surgical fees. They go home with a rehab program where they can do exercises, help recover the pet. They have a better outcome. The client's ecstatic, I'm ecstatic, everyone wins. Or another practice is including that $150 in their surgical cost, but charging $300 in the surgical cost. So they're making 100% on that. And so this is you're able to charge what you want in this program. So we sell it at wholesale, and we can give you a recommended retail price, but you can charge whatever you like, or absorb the costs into the procedure, so you're sending your clients home with a rehab program after surgery. So think about how many surgeries you're doing a week. How many in consultation, Mrs. Smith, $47, you can go home with the education program instead of it's $147 if you go buy it off their website. We're giving you or you could sell for $100 and say, Mrs. Smith, this is $100 here, or it's $147 if you buy it online, and you collect the money at your point of sale. You're collecting the money, and then we're charging your clinic credit card. So you're collecting money. We want you to get the money. We want you to get the service. We want you to be the hero of the story. And this allows you to increase your bottom line by offering rehabilitation service to your clients for the benefits of your patients without you having to learn anything, lift the finger. You just incorporate this into your pricing structure, and you're instantly making money while you're up servicing your clients. So here, once again, are all the different programs that we offer at the moment. And then we've got 15 programs. We're looking to have 22 programs by the end of the year for you to be able to refer to your clients. So what will your life change with Canine Rehab on Demand? You'll be now offering a much higher level of patient care. Your clients will be more satisfied and feeling you're offering more options for their pets, but also you're getting better treatment outcomes for your patient. Your staff will be happy, ecstatic, because now you've got happy clients instead of grumpy clients, and they're actually learning something, and you'll be making additional revenue streams of income for the practice. So let me explain my mission and why we're doing this. And it's my goal to educate the public that rehabilitation just doesn't benefit humans, but also benefits our pets as well. And I want canine rehabilitation to be recognized as a profession that can help animals live the best quality of life they can for the longest time possible and be as pain-free as possible. So ultimately, I want your success, because your success is my success. And I want to raise the standard of care that we give to our patients. So if you're interested in Canine Rehab on Demand or learning more, here's a QR code, and so that will sign you up. So we will then send you information when we're launching the wholesale program and also the affiliate program that you can sign up to at the moment. And with that, any questions?
Oh, John, I think everybody is really excited. We have a few listeners on the Facebook page as well that this really, I think, filled such a void for people in practice who want to tell people to go to rehab, but they don't want to lose them to some other practice where they don't have as much follow-up. So I think that that's an important point for sure as well. Being able to have this offer to your clients and directly at your general practice would be so wonderful for folks, I think.
And we don't have the time to learn new things. And when I was in general practice, you're running all day, every day, just to keep ahead of that wave, and you don't have the ability. And so that's what we've spent the last 7 years building this actually, we're on our 5th web developer, because people conceptually couldn't get all the links to work. And we've now, technology's come up to what I wanted to do. And the goal of this is to make it seamless, so you don't have to think. It's just one click of the button. So at the point of checkout, the receptionist is saying, Mrs. Smith, do you want the rehab program, or the rehab programs included in surgery? And they fill out a form, just email address, client's name, which program they're sending, and the email address, and it generates an email straight to the client. So when they get home with their pet from surgery, they have all the information there for them. And so it's really, the vet clinics don't have to think about it. The receptionists are the gatekeepers, and they just sign people into the program. Or you then, in your monthly newsletter, send out, this month is weight loss month, and we're going to be building social media campaigns this year. So we're pushing months, and you put the URL, your individual link in that, and your clients go click on the link, and then you just get an affiliate fee for that. And it's just about we love our profession, and giving support and information so that we as a veterinarian community can do a better job servicing our clients. The clients then do this with their pets. They get a better bond. It's all team pet. And at the end of the day, my number one goal is to make the vet the hero of the story.
Well, we appreciate you, John, and for taking the time, and to everybody watching, or anybody who watches the recording later, if you have any other questions, I'm sure you can reach out directly to the Veterinary Teaching Academy right there, or use the QR code, or just reach out to the IVAPM and we can get your questions answered by John. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks so much for sharing this great information, Dr. Waterhouse.
And we'll see. Anyone sending questions, I'm always here to answer. And thank you. I know I went really fast. I got it within a minute, and there was a lot of information. I spoke quite quickly, and I get quite animated about this, but this really is a new technology, we'll call it, that adds new life to your patients. And I'm here to help and answer any questions that you have.
Thanks, John. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.